Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.
Since its introduction in 2010, the Presidential Amnesty Program has been successfully implemented to halt constant attacks on crude oil and gas installations in the Niger Delta. However, the federal government's peace-building efforts have failed to bring about lasting peace in the region, which is still bedeviled by violent conflict and tension, a situation that is blamed on lack of proper integration of ex-combatants into their communities. Correspondent Tekena Amifuri tells us more.
At the height of insurgency in the Niger Delta, the government of late President Umaru Yar'Adua introduced the Presidential Amnesty Program to douse tension in the region. It was a homegrown demobilization, disarmament and reintegration peace-building model which required ex-combatants to surrender their arms in exchange for socio-economic rehabilitation. Implementation of the Presidential Amnesty Program has brought an end to constant attacks on oil pipelines and gas installations, paving way for increased daily oil production in the Niger Delta. However, many fear that what is obtainable in the region is a piece of the graveyard due to the persistence of violent conflict in several communities. In its weekly conflict update published in May 2023, the Foundation for Partnership Initiatives in the Niger Delta (PIND) reports that cult and gang-related violence resulted in over 100 fatalities in Akwa Ibom State between January 2021 and March 2023. Findings in the report indicate that gang-related violence is on the increase as a result of battles for supremacy. Dr. Anthony Egubweze, a lecturer in the Political Science Department of the Rivers State University, blames persistent violent conflict on lack of broad participation in the Presidential Amnesty Program, citing relegation of traditional rulers in the fight against insecurity.
There is no crime that takes place in an utopia. All crimes take place within a domain and a locale, and the domain or locale is administered by a traditional ruler. The traditional rulers have tried their best, but you see, we have a state that has not provided a serious role for traditional rulers, especially in the 1999 Constitution. So whatever thing they are doing have to do with issues of third-party intervention. So and third-party interventions, to some extent, most of the actions they take are not legal. So the legalization of the role of traditional rulers becomes a desideratum at this point in time.
In its April 2023 report, which spotlights organized criminality in the Niger Delta, PIND observes that violent conflict caused over 200 fatalities in Abia State between January 2020 and December 2022. The report specifically identifies communities in Ohafia and Okwa West local government areas as conflict flashpoints. For his part, Dr. Eziho Ogele, a peace-building practitioner, attributes pervasive insecurity to lack of proper integration of ex-combatants into their communities.
After the amnesty program, communities still suffered violence. It was after the amnesty program we started hearing Avengers and all that. It means that the implementation failed. What we are saying is that there should be proper integration. Everybody that was involved in militancy or whatever comes from a community, and the community should be able to reintegrate them. We should consider African model of reintegration, because those who are affected are community people and their extended relatives. Even if they get a pardon from the state, they need to be reintegrated into their communities.
The Presidential Amnesty Program was designed to last a period of 5 years. Owing to its poor implementation, violent conflict remains rife in the Niger Delta, making it difficult for the federal government to come up with an exit strategy. Peace-building practitioners in the region have advised the federal government to revisit the program with a view to enthroning lasting peace and security in Nigeria's oil-rich region.
Inside the Niger Delta,